As we move towards the end of the year, I've been spending quite a bit of time reflecting and taking stock of my life and those life lessons that I've learned over time. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing just a few of the lessons I learned that I think maybe some of you could benefit from. If this is your first time here, I'm Natasha from Bright Sprout Consulting, and I'm a career and life coach. My goal is to help individuals feel more confident in the world of work. If you want to build your confidence, then you've come to the right place, because I'll be sharing my top tips for how to build that confidence. If you like what you hear, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to be updated of any new content. And while you're at it, like this video. Like it with thumbs. Like. The very first life lesson that I'd like to share with you that I've been reflecting on this week is that failure is inevitable. That everyone at some point in their lives fails at something. The thing that sets you apart is how you deal with that failure. When I was in primary school, many moons ago, I was what some would consider academically smart. I finished in the top 10% of my grade every year. Then I went to high school and I was, shall we say, less smart. I was average at best, which was fine because I was out living my life and doing other things. But during that time, I experienced my very first major failure. In grade 9, when I was about 15, I failed mathematics. If you know how the South African education system is built, you'll know that mathematics is pivotal in furthering your education at a university. So me not passing was a big deal. And I could see my dreams slipping away from me. My dreams of studying further and doing this wonderful career of mine, I could see it slipping away. And I was devastated. So I went home and I told my mom this devastating story about how my life is over. Yes, I know, very dramatic. And my mom looked at me and said one sentence: "What are you going to do about it?" Went to my room, sat there and thought, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to accept that I no longer can do the thing that I want to do? Or am I going to pick myself up and fight for what I want? At the time, I made the decision to fight for what I wanted, which was to do mathematics so that I could get into university. Fortunately for me, I got that opportunity. I got to do maths, I got into university, and I got to study the thing that I wanted to study. At times, you are going to have to make the decision about what you're going to do when you're faced with a challenge, a barrier, a failure. The second life lesson I've been thinking about quite a bit this week is that you are never really alone. That there are people who want to form part of the village that supports you if you will allow them to. About 2 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with dementia. I'm not sure if any of you know what dementia entails, but essentially it's a disease that impacts the brain. Over time, your brain gets damaged and then it wastes away. In my mom's case, it impacted the areas that relate to her behavior and her use and understanding of language. It was a tough time for our family, and I'd been struggling with it on my own until one day I decided to write about it and post my thoughts on Facebook. I was absolutely overwhelmed by the support of people around me who had gone through something similar, and I hadn't realized. It felt amazing to have people out there who understood what I was going through and were willing to share their words of encouragement and just advice in terms of how to deal with it. It was in that moment that I realized that I had a village of supporters that I could tap into at any point, but only if I was willing to put my vulnerabilities out there. Tap into your village. The final tip I wanted to share is to not deny your reality. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a hugely optimistic person. I basically see the silver lining in every situation. Over time, I've come to realize that that's one of my biggest coping mechanisms. I deny that there's an issue or bad stuff happening, and I replace it with only good stuff and good feelings. Sounds amazing, right? Sometimes that approach doesn't serve me, because in denying the situation is real, I deny myself the opportunity to grow and learn out of that situation. When I started my career as an HR professional, I was partnered with a business leader who I thought was pretty terrible. She had a completely different working style to me, and I used to rub her up the wrong way all the time. I denied that it was an issue for a long time, because in my mind, it's something we could work through, that she would learn to appreciate my style and quirkiness, and that we would develop a working relationship that was effective. We never did. We clashed every single day that I worked with her. My denial that I was in a bad space put me in a position where I went to work unhappy every day. And my performance started to be affected by that. That then had the knock-on effect that I started losing confidence in my own ability to do my job. It was only at that point that I came to the realization that I needed to get out. The lesson I learned is that denial just delays the inevitable and makes a bad situation so much worse in the end. That's it. We've come to the end of the video today. I hope you've enjoyed my life lessons that I've been reflecting on this week. I'm a firm believer of the concept of each one teach one. So if you have some lessons that you feel the broader community could benefit from so that they can live a more fulfilled and confident life, please feel free to pop them in the comment section down below. As mentioned earlier, I am a career and life coach. If you want to build your confidence and you're just looking for someone to walk that path with you, then please feel free to reach out. All of my details will be in the description box below.